content. I know that was a terrible one because normally I'd be able to hit that note, but the voice is voicing today. So apparently, so we talked a little bit about Madonna's biopic yesterday that she went on Instagram and she opened up about the struggles that she's pretty much been having in regards of her biopic and getting it off the ground. So apparently, Madonna's highly anticipated biopic is apparently going to take a surprising new direction. Despite spending 4 decades as the queen of pop, Madonna, who's 66, has revealed she spent days struggling with producers and agents, prompting to downplay the scope of her long gestating self-directed biopic about her life set to star Julia Garner. Now, such struggles had the pop icon hinting at a potential pivot from the big screen to the small screen, igniting a flurry of excitement among her fans. On Monday, November 18th, the Grammy-winning icon took to Instagram to share her thoughts on the future of her life story project. Now, I was like, just for context, I do have her Instagram. So, yeah, let's pull that up again. And she basically said the following. She said, after struggling for days in LA, listening to producers and agents tell me why I couldn't make my film. I've been working on it for 4 years, by the way. Downsize, downscale, think smaller, they say. I realized that everything in my life is going to be challenged. No easy rides for me. I guess I should be grateful. It forces me to think outside the box. I did not have a normal life. I could not make this in the normal way. Spending time with my creative friends was just the fuel I needed to keep going. We all agreed that we need to be even more fearless. Art equals survival. We cannot shrink and make ourselves smaller. If you want something badly enough in life, the whole universe will conspire you help to get it. Should I make the story of my life into a series of feature film? Think before you answer. And of course, when we talked about it yesterday, everybody was talking about pretty much that that's her man, honey. Everybody was talking about that they wanted the biopic to be a series, that they feel like you cannot judge we'll say 5 decades of stuff from your career into a 2 hour movie. So according to the Daily Mail, they said producers of Madonna's upcoming biopic laughed at the singer's ludicrous demand for $100 million budget, but she is not going to have it done any other way. This is what a source has revealed. The Like a Virgin songstress to the Instagram on Monday, as you know, we said about in regards to the whole giving her fans an update on the biopic about her life. The movie, which is said to be directed by Madonna herself and will star Julia Garner, has been in the works for years now, but has faced a series of problems and delays. And the hitmaker explained in her latest post that she has faced yet another setback for the biopic because she said producers had told her she couldn't make the film if she didn't downsize. Now, a source has revealed exclusively to the DailyMail.com that Madonna has asked for $100 million to make the movie, which didn't go over well with producers. They said Madonna wants $100 million to do this, and the producers laughed at her. They told her that it was ludicrous. But perfectionist Madonna has no plans to back down, as the source added. Now she was going to be raising the $100 million herself. Well, we'll see if she's able to pull that off. Because I was going to be like, sis, maybe you need to use $100 million of your own money. But then again, I would not recommend that because if I need to give y'all two prime examples of people who use their own finances to make their movies and it flopped big time, Jennifer Lopez with This Is Me Now, even though technically it's not a movie, it was like a little visual album situation that she did with Prime Video, where everybody told her not to do it. And she used 17. I believe it was, they said 20 million, but I believe it was 17. And then Francis Ford Coppola with Megaflopolis, he used a lot of his own money, even put up his own villa to finalize that, to fund that movie, and it bombed big time. So on one hand, I'd be like, Madonna could put up her own money. On the other hand, I wouldn't recommend it. But then again, I do feel like because Madonna is who she is, that she could make that money back. The only problem is, I do not think a Madonna biopic is an $100 million grossing, $100 million budgeted movie. You don't need to make that movie for that kind of money. Hold on, because let me look this up before I get into the rest of the story. I want to know how much the budget for this um Michael Jackson biopic. And it's crazy when you got to type with one hand. What is the budget? Oh, bitch. Hold the phone. Now, wait a minute. So now, if Madonna asking for $100 million, y'all need to give it to her. Now that I looked at the number, they said the budget for Michael's movie is $155 million. Now, if y'all spend that much money on Michael Damn Jackson, why y'all not gonna get that money to her? So now I'm was about to say, now you don't need to move that money for that movie for that kind of budget. Now that I looked up that number, I'm like, wait a minute. So y'all doing almost that movie gross? I mean, the budget is almost $200 million, but you're not gonna give her $100 million? Why not? Y'all was willing to spend all that money on him, and I feel like even with that, like if she needs to, I think Madonna could go dig into the archives and use her actual costumes from the past and allow Julia Garner and the wardrobe department to use it on in the movie, unless a lot of those pieces are real delicate and over the years, because it's been 4 decades since she's been making music, that if they put on the actual costumes that was from the Virgin tour or many of her other past tours, that it could fall apart. So if y'all sitting up in here talking about basically that the budget for the biopic is estimated to be $155 million, then I do not believe that um it's a stretch for her to ask for that kind of money. And because of who Madonna is, I do feel like, you know, she can make the money back. She is still one of the most influential pop icons alive in history. A lot of your faves and even the newer ones are still emulating Madonna. I just saw a video of Miley Cyrus covering Like a Prayer. I think it was Like a Prayer. Girl, she done tore that song up with the way she was singing that song. But I was like, let me hold on because I got to check because I be forgetting stuff. I did post it on my Blue Sky. Oh yeah, I was right. She did. She covered Like a Prayer, and her raspy, deep vocals on that. I was like, I felt it down in my bone marrow the way she was singing that damn song. I would love to see Miley put that out as an official song or like a cover or perform it live in one of her shows. But I remember I saw the video and I posted on my Blue Sky. If anybody wants to check it out, it's down. The actual Blue Sky handle is in my live description. I put all my handles and stuff down there. So they basically went on to say, to wrap this up, that she is a perfectionist and she gets one opportunity to tell her story, and she's not going to have it told any other way than how she wants it to be told. She's not going to give control of this to a studio so they can make a fortune for telling her story. Now, the insider explained that the musician is well known amongst her friends for being demanding and a massive control freak, and that's what makes her work so amazing. Is she difficult? Extremely. Is she hard to work for? Absolutely. She is well known for being a perfectionist, demanding, and a massive control freak. Well, she's also a Leo. Now, I know how them Leos are. Says that anyone who has worked with on her shows will tell you this, but Madonna is Madonna for a reason. She is an artist and she has decided to go back to the drawing board. Now, a second source said to DailyMail.com that Madonna tossed out a script that was originally presented to her because she thought it was garbage. And when she presented a new script, producers didn't like it. So she said, fuck it, I'm going to do it my way. This is what they explained. Now, the insider added that Madonna was now turning the project into a series rather than a film because she cannot tell her story in just 2 hours, which says, quiet as it's kept. We've been telling you this for the longest, that your, you know, biopic is not a 2 hour situation. You have way too much going on in your personal, in your producer life or in your life as an artist, that your story can't be told in 2 hours. It's just, no shade, virtually impossible to do that. So they said there are so many different lives that she's lived, they shared. She is breaking this up into a series, most likely for Netflix and or Hulu, and each episode will feature a different part of her life. Now, Madonna's whole career has been built on reinvention. And they also said, you know what, maybe Julia Garner shouldn't even be the only Madonna to play Madonna. They felt like they should take more of an approach like The Crown, which, I'm going to be honest, I've never watched The Crown. I don't care about royal family stuff. Even when they be trying to shove that mess down our throat over in America, I'm like, I don't care about King Charles. I don't care about Camilla. I don't care about none of them people. I stopped giving a damn about the royal family when Princess Di went and lost her life in that damn car crash. I did not care about the royals in that way ever again. I just don't care about the pomp and circumstance of it all. I never cared about royalty stuff. And the only time I give a damn about royalty stuff is if I watch it in like science fiction or, something like a Game of Thrones or, a Dune. Like if it's something in that world, then I'm interested because it's science fiction or fiction or whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to like the royal family pomp and circumstance, I don't give a good goddamn what's going on over there, which is why I never cared to watch The Crown. That's what certain demographic, if you like it, I love it, but I don't care enough to get caught up in it, if that makes any sense. But in regards to this whole situation, now when they were explaining to me further, that was like, yeah, they want to do it in a crown type of way where you can have different people coming in and play the different roles. I think she's pretty much going to be set on Julia Garner. I don't think she's going to want to have a multitude of Madonnas playing her. So I don't see that happening. Then they said a separate episode will feature her breakthrough. From the point, it will be broken up into episodes that are separated by the album she did at the time. For each of these albums, she was a different person, a different character that she created to keep people on their toes. She will have complete control over this, and each episode will, in a sense, be its own film about the person she was for each monumental period of her life. She is going big. Now, Variety reported back in January of 2023 that Madonna had scrapped the biopic, which was supposed to be produced by Universal Pictures, so she could instead focus on her tour. In July of 2024, nearly a year and a half later, she did announce that she was back at the biopic. I just think at that point it was just too much of a gap in between, and she hadn't given us new music, and that's why she did the whole tour thing. Which now I think most people love out of many of her tours. I mean, I like the Celebration tour, but I think that the unless you're like not a hardcore fan, I think the non-hardcore fans love the Celebration tour because she did it was more of a retrospective. It was a look back on her life, but not in the traditional way, where basically she just came in and yeah, it was a look back and you played a lot of the hits, which according to Perez Hilton, he was out here talking about how she's burned a lot of bridges and stuff, and her fans are pissed off at her because she keeps showing up late to her shows, and her fans are old and they're not really much into staying up until like 2 o'clock in the damn morning when she's done with a tour because her mindset is different than a lot of her people that come to see her shows. And he feels that it's rude and disrespectful. And the fact that he thinks that the reason why they're struggling is because the script probably isn't that great. That, when you look at music versus film, completely, yeah, they're both art about artistic expression, but the way that you do those type of situations completely different. So you can't necessarily come in and think that the way you handle your music stuff is the way you handle, the way you write a song is not the same way you would write a script, which is why I think she had help when she had Diablo Cody, and then she had another screenwriter come in. So yeah, it's not a bad thing to have somebody come in as a co-screenwriter and help you kind of zhuzh everything up and make it work in a way where it looks like a legitimate script. So we have no problem with that. But I vehemently disagree with him on the reason why I was like, oh, well, maybe the reason why the industry is not going to give her what she wants is because she's burned a lot of bridges with her tour stuff. What the hell does that got to do with Hollywood? Like making a movie is a completely different animal than the whole tour situation. It's not the same thing. So I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but that's his opinion. And I'm going to give mine. So yeah, and we already know about the whole thing about her frustration of clashing with the producers and all that other stuff. But I say this, I'm still hell bent on the idea of do a biopic in the form of a series. I understand the whole Oscar thing, but you know what? Things ain't always going to work out the way you want it to. And like I stated before, if the budget allegedly for this Michael biopic is $150 million, then I do not see it an issue that y'all give her $100 million to make this movie, especially when y'all have no problem giving Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson flopping at the box office ass $250 million, make some horrible ass Christmas movie, which looked like it should have went straight to some damn Netflix instead of a theater. So we're not going to do that. Now we know with Madonna's cultural impact and those other stuff, if it looks great, if y'all be able to, if she gets the right team of people that can help judge this all up and y'all sell it in the form of the trailers and all the other stuff, it could definitely work and y'all can make that money back. Now, in regards to the $100 million and it goes straight to streaming, I don't know about that. Maybe what you could do is in order to recoup a little bit of that money, I would think an idea would be drop the first 2 episodes exclusively in theaters. AMC, y'all could do this. Exclusively in theaters. Drop the first 2 episodes. The fans come watch it, and then with the promo and stuff, word of mouth, y'all do a maybe I don't know if it's a 1 night thing, 2 night thing, or maybe a weekend. Y'all can kind of do that. Give people a sneak peek in different parts of the United States where they can see the first 2 episodes in theaters. Get people to go pay to see it. Then they can talk about it on social media, and then that'll drum up enough where y'all can make this money. Or do it with Netflix, because apparently they got money to burn and they don't give a damn about, if they'll give you a big budget and then they just throw it up there without even thinking about putting it in the theater. So if you want to take that risk, do it with Netflix, because apparently they got a lot of money to burn over there. So I still have this to say. What do you think of this story? Because it gives more nuance. Because yesterday when we talked about this, we only focused on whether or not it should be a biopic versus a movie. Today, with more of the story coming out, now we're talking about the fact that there was rumors that she wants to make the movie with a $100 million budget. I guess it is going to be expensive to make New York look like New York in the '80s and make it really look like New York. So I'm wondering where they feel like the budget would have gone from that, because the licensing of the music is not going to be expensive. The wardrobe and stuff, you probably dig into the archives, or like I said, maybe that the pieces are delicate, so they want to use that, but you can replicate, go in her archives, look at the fashions, and you have your costume designer who can replicate a lot of those clothes. But I'm also relatively curious on what did the $150 million budget from Michael go towards? And in down to this, I know she wants to direct the movie, but they can get her to just be an executive producer and get a script writing credit and all that stuff, and let somebody who knows what the hell they doing directed. I would like for her to do that, but like they said, she a damn control freak, and I don't see that happening. But who do y'all think would be a good video director? I would say Antoine Fuqua, but he probably not going to want to be dealing with her, especially after directing that Michael movie, and they let him do what he needed to do respectfully with that film, The Estate. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.